Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. We have a lot of injuries, which is a concern for the Chiefs if they're not all back. Even if they are, you don't want them missing practice, and missing practice could mean for Andy Reid, he likes to have them back 2 weeks to be prepared. For now we're going to go over PTSD and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but first, who has PTSD. But first, we're going to go over what it means. PTSD is a traumatic event that can be scary, and actually, it's due to abuse or combat, vehicle accidents, war, natural disasters, or sexual assault, or something that is unfortunate to a person that experiences that trauma. That's my definition. After a traumatic event, it is common for people to have nightmares or even feel like events are happening again. I would refer to PTSD as any event. It doesn't fit that exact description given above. You may feel easily startled, or if you can't relax, or you can't feel, or you can feel on edge, or have trouble sleeping. It is also not unusual to feel sad or numb, or have a hard time carrying out a regular activity. Maybe you can't stop blaming yourself or others for the traumatic event that is caused to avoid that happening again, or others that most people think about it, but it doesn't ruin their day on a consistent basis. But if it's longer than a few months, the event still causing you to have problems with your PTSD stands for PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It may be something that is violating our PTSD can affect anyone. It's nothing.
A traumatic event can be scary. It can cause you to fear for your life, that you will be hurt or violated. Traumatic events like sexual assault, transportation accidents, natural disasters, or combat can happen to you directly or be something you see. Unfortunately, people experience traumas all the time. After a traumatic event, it's common to have changes in emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. It's normal to have bad memories, nightmares, or even feel like the trauma is happening again. You might feel easily startled or like you can't relax, or feel on edge and have trouble sleeping. It is also not unusual after a traumatic event to feel angry, afraid, sad, or numb, or have a hard time carrying out your regular activities. Maybe you can't stop blaming yourself or others for the trauma or any problems that it caused. Maybe you go out of your way to avoid things that remind you of what happened. Most people start to feel better after a few weeks or months after a traumatic event. They still think about the trauma, but it doesn't ruin their day. But if it's been longer than a few months and the thoughts, feelings, and memories are still upsetting you or causing problems in your life, you may have PTSD. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It is a mental health condition that some people develop after they experience something very scary, dangerous, or violent. PTSD can affect anyone. It is nothing to be ashamed of and doesn't mean you are weak or can't cope. It is actually one of the most common mental health conditions. People with PTSD can get better with the right help, and there are lots of different treatment options, so you can choose something that works for you. If you are struggling after living through trauma or think you may have PTSD, visit adaa.org for free resources and use the Find Your Therapist tool to find support near you.
And there's lots of different, such as DBT therapy, the therapy treatments that are right for you. You choose something that works for you. If you think you have PTSD, visit adaanxiety.com or 88.com for free resources you can use to find a therapist, to find support and near you. That's on PTSD. Now here's more with Clyde Edwards-Helaire on PTSD. Now on to baseball. The Royals in the offense was dead yesterday until two outs in the ninth inning, where Adam Frazier hit a foul ball that almost left the ballpark to give the Royals the lead. But Adam Frazier would fly out. But next was MJ Melendez, and while the offense was dead, it was dead no more. Here's that.
MJ, right field, deep. Perez is at the wall. Yeah! What a time to get your first career pinch hit. It was a 3-run Jimmy Jack. Beautiful. And how about that use of the bench?
Royals will play the Red Sox, who are trying to get inching closer to the Royals. For right now, the Red Sox are 2.5 back. Tonight at Kauffman Stadium, Royals play the Red Sox. Brady Singer will be on the mound for the Royals, and James Paxton, former Dodger and also former Red Sox, was only on the Dodgers for half the season. Game time is at 7:10. Cardinals just 2 games above 500 now. That's not going to get it done for the Cardinals. The Rays, after selling, only sit 5 back and 3 games above 500. They'll play the Rays tomorrow. They have been quite on the streak. The Mets have. Sean Manaea will go for the Mets, and Andre Petta will go for the Cardinals. Meet the Missouri players. Zion Young, who had 1 sack at Michigan State, will get his chance to start for the Missouri Tigers this year. Eddie Kelly had second most in tackles as a defensive lineman, 36 tackles in every game played. His breakout game was against South Carolina. He played at Georgia Tech. He's another transfer. Christian Williams, the nose tackle, wasn't able to get on the field last year, but did force 2 fumbles when he was playing. Christian McLean, another SEC opponent, played for Florida last year. He wasn't getting the playing time he wanted, so he will come to Missouri. He had 4.5 sacks last year. Defensive end Johnny Walker, who looks to be on to the NFL. Corey Flaggan and Chuck Hagan, middle linebacker. Johnny Walker is at the defensive end. Defensive tackle Chris Maitland and Sterling Webb. At the defensive end, Eddie Kelly and Zion Young. Chuck Hicks and Corey Flagg will be battling it out for the defensive middle linebacker. Tristan Knutson will be taking over the linebacker spot. Toronto Pride Jr. will get his chance to start this season. Dory Naywood will also get his chance to start this season at the defensive back. Marcus Clark will also be getting a shot. He had 2 picks last year, not playing very much. What's ahead of him at the safety spot? Lucas Burner will be a punter. Blake Craig will be a kicker after Harrison Mevis played last year for the Missouri Tigers. He was very good and was drafted into the NFL. Luther Burden, definitely a ticket to the NFL next year. One of the best kick returners and receivers in the game. The best I've ever seen. Maybe put on a Mizzou uniform. Maybe better than Jeremy Macklin. Kicker returners, Marquise Johnson, and as we said, Luther Burden doing the punt returner. For more, visit this website. That's Sam on Sports.